Greetings fellow ukuleleans, Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new ukulele tutorial. Today I'd like to talk about a good old song. It's called Hard Times Come Again No More. Stephen Foster. It's written in 1855 around the Civil War era, and it's a song that's been done by very many artists. It's a solo song sometimes, it's a group song, it's a duet. There's a lot of different forms this song can take, and it's been performed through the years with different arrangements and different keys, different harmonizations. Today I'd like to talk about the simplest harmonization, just using like 3 chords, but you can throw all kinds of minor chords in there and secondary dominants and all kinds of neat little tricks that you can do. But today we're going to talk about the simplest 3-chord version, and I'd like to learn it in the key of C to kick it off with. I played it in D at the intro there. I did my little spontaneous chord melody arrangement of it on the spot using the chords in the key of D, and to me that sounds a little more Irish, a little more fiddle tuney, because a lot of Irish fiddle tunes are in the key of D. It's very conducive to playing with instruments like the fiddle, the mandolin. Guitars can capo at the 2nd fret and do the key of D fairly easily. It's kind of a common thing to do at music camps and bluegrass jams and just the kind of places where you gather and play music together that is of a simple nature and a folk kind of nature. And so key of D is a nice one, but let's learn it in C for those of you that might not even be comfortable with chords in the key of D. You haven't studied them yet. The key of C is accessible because all we're talking about is a C chord. We're talking about an F chord. And we're talking about a G chord. So that keeps life really simple for us. So let's talk about the lyrics. I have those on my computer over here. Let me take a look and I'll read them out with you. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears. While we all sup sorrow with the poor, there's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. So that's the first verse, no matter who plays this song and what sort of arrangement they use. That's almost always the set of lyrics they use for verse 1. And then the chorus, which can come at various points in the tune depending on the arrangement. The chorus is a little different. It goes like this. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days have you lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. So not the happiest song in the world, but kind of with an eye past the hard times and looking forward to the day when there are hard times that are coming no more. So it really is kind of appropriate to these times in this COVID era that we're going through and political polarization and all this kind of stuff. We're kind of thinking we have some hard times these days, although we are pretty lucky and not everything's bad and things will most definitely get better. The song's really popular all of a sudden. It's kind of had a little bit of a resurgence. So let's talk about the song itself now that we've heard the lyrics. You're going to be pretty much starting on a C chord. Dun, 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 dun. Now F. Dun, 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 dun. Back to C. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, C. And F. C. Stay on C. G. C. Now that's the verse, and that's the most basic, bare bones arrangement that you would do. There's a lot of options there for fancying it up and making it more interesting. I held back just then. I was tempted to throw in some of my embellishments that I would like to do. For instance, whenever you go to an F chord from a C chord, you can always stick C7 in between. That's a super common thing to do. Dun 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 dun. No problem with that. If you want to do that, if you want to throw a C7 chord in there, you absolutely can. That's a very idiomatic thing that Stephen Foster probably would have done sitting at his piano writing this song. Or many people back then, they bought sheet music in 1855, and then past that, after the Civil War was over, sheet music started to become a thing here in the United States. And more and more middle-class people could afford pianos for their home and to go to the store and buy some sheet music. And this was one of those songs. This song was played a lot in minstrel shows, and although those kind of have semi-racist origins, we won't get into the politics of it today. I'll leave that for other folks to talk about. I just want to talk about the music aspect, but indeed, this song was very popular in minstrel shows, and minstrel shows traveled around to different cities and towns of the United States, mostly here on the East Coast, and that's where a lot of songs became popular. So people would hear these songs at the minstrel shows, and they'd like them, they'd remember the name or the lyrics, and then if they could afford to, they had a piano in their parlor at home, they take these songs from the minstrel shows and play them at home using the sheet music they could buy at Woolworths and various places like that. And so there's a long tradition of that, of these songs becoming popular that way. And Stephen Foster was kind of a hit maker back then. He was sort of like the Kanye West or the whoever, Justin Timberlake, or you name your Cardi B, your popular music artist today. He was like that back then. He didn't end his life like that. He ended up kind of poor and destitute in New York City, but he had a glorious peak of his career where he was kind of a hit maker, writing all these songs we know, like Oh Susanna and Swanee River and songs like that, My Old Kentucky Home. His songs are really popular, but he had that peak of his success where his career was at its height, and this was one of those songs that came out of that era. So yeah, minstrel shows and sheet music. I just wanted to throw some history in there for you. But getting back to the song with C, F, and G, sure, you can embellish things a lot. On the G chord, you could do G sus4. On the F chord, you can get away from that quicker and do like a C, F, C resolution like that. There's a lot of ways to take this and fancy it up, but we're going to keep things simple. So if I were to read the lyrics off my computer and strum these chords with you, just to show you this verse again, we have, let's see, here we go. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count the many tears while we all sup sorrow with the pole. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Whoa, hard times come again no more. Very hymn-like. It sounds an awful lot like a Methodist hymn in the tradition of like Amazing Grace and A Closer Walk with Thee and stuff like that, Old Rugged Cross. It's got that kind of hymn sound to it. And you'll notice that that particular strum I was doing was a fairly simple strum. That's the strum a lot of people use when they play this song. Down, 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 up, 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 down. So I'm thinking in two. I'm thinking 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Dun 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 2 1 2 1 2 1. So a slow song like this, to give it that kind of Methodist hymn reverent sort of sound, yeah, think of it in 2, not 1 2 3 4. That's too constant of a beat, too persistent of a beat. And this isn't really a beat-oriented song. It's not like a rap tune or a reggae tune or something where the beat is the most important thing. This is kind of more about the lyrics, the meaning of the lyrics, the melody, and the chords. So we want to sort of de-emphasize the rhythm in a song like this. I know most of the music I show you, the rhythm is like king. That's one of the biggest things in the song. This is an exception. This is more of a lyric focus kind of song, the story and the meaning. All right, so when you're learning this song in C, you might find it not great for your voice. Maybe your voice is higher and you like D. That's the key I played it in originally at the top of this. So, dun dun dun, and that has that Irish sound I was talking about, kind of more of a Celtic kind of vibe when you play things in D because of the fiddle. Dun 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 could totally work in that key for those of you with higher voices. And we could learn this in many keys, but for time's sake, we'll stick to just those keys. So we had the key of D being D, and now G, back to D, stay on D, dun, 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 and A, dun, 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 D. If you want to throw in D7, you can, and G, back to D, stay on D, A, back to D. Little sus4s or whatever you want to throw in there. So versatile. Once you have a simple framework of 3 chords like that, you can take this and, like I said, embellish it and make it more interesting. All right, we should talk about the chorus a little bit. The chorus has different lyrics and it has a different setup of chords. So let's get into that. Tis the sun side of the weary. So you can see that was C to F. Tis the song and the side of the weary. Hard times, come again no more. Many days have you lingered around my cabin door. Whoa, hard times, come again no more. So again, chorus. C, F, C. Hard times is C. Now G. And then C, if you want, C7. And then F, C. Just like a verse. C, G, C. So that would be it in C. And I'll trust that you can probably figure it out and transpose it to the key of D. Just in case you need to know the Roman numeral analysis of these chords, C is 1, F is 4, and G is 5. And so it's 1, 4, 5. And so if you can figure out 1, 4, 5 in the key of D, you're all set. Or possibly you can figure out 1, 4, 5 in the key of F or the key of G. Those are also good keys to sing this song in. So using the Roman numeral system of analyzing chords, that helps you transpose a lot easier. You don't have to sit there and count everything and work from scratch. You can just have a formula to plug into whatever key you want. And if you need any more information on that, I have lots of videos on the subject on basic music theory and harmony and analyzing chords using Roman numerals or counting on your fingers. Various videos that you can watch. Okay, ukulele people, I hope you enjoyed that real quick lesson. We can dive further into this song if you'd like. If you want to do the chord melody arrangement, you want to learn it in other keys, you want to learn my embellished versions where I throw in some more interesting harmonies, we can do all of that. So just let me know in the comment section down below if any of that interests you. Alright, ukulele people, you take care, and I will catch you later. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, and be sure to click that little notify bell up there to let you know when I come out with a new one of these. And visit me over at Patreon and you'll get access to all the song sheets and all the supplemental materials that only patrons are privy to. Alright, ukulele people, see you later. Bye-bye.